Hey Internet, so once the full SSB4 roster is revealed, I plan to do a series of videos about all of the characters, how I feel about their inclusion, and how all those characters were implemented in the game. I'll be going series by series, so for example, one video will be called Smash 4 Roster Discussion, Mario Series, another will be called Smash 4 Roster Discussion, Third Party Properties. This will provide me with a way to discuss certain characters at length while providing a sense of order and kind of skipping past characters I really don't have much to say about. Ordinarily, every character confirmed for the game would be discussed in one of those videos, but there's one character that I have too much to say about to just wrap into a Smash 4 roster discussion Zelda series. And if you read the title, you would know that that character is Toon Link. Toon Link is one of my favorite Nintendo characters. Wind Waker was the first Zelda game that I actually played to completion, and seeing Link actually express his emotion instead of being a bland mime like in previous Zelda titles was one of the things I enjoyed most about it. In Brawl, Toon Link is one of my mains because, in addition to being expressive, he's also quite speedy, making it a lot easier for me to string together combos with him than regular Link. Naturally, when Super Smash Bros. 4 was announced and people began speculating about Toon Link's inclusion, I grew pretty nervous as I didn't want to see him go anywhere. Luckily, I didn't have to. On September 26, 2013, Toon Link was revealed to promote Wind Waker HD on Wii U. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. However, since then, it has become increasingly obvious that besides physical appearance, Toon Link really hasn't gone through many changes since Brawl, and I don't know how to feel about that. On the one hand, his moves being more or less the same means that I can pretty much pick up the new game and play with him right away, and there isn't too much of a learning curve. On the other hand, he's still a clone of Link, and a lot of people don't really like clone characters. They see him as a cheap way to fatten up the roster without really adding anything new. So with that in mind, I really hope that Toon Link makes his way into future Smash installments. But if he's going to do so, he's gonna need to be handled more carefully. Anyway, sorry the introduction took so long. Here's how to fix Toon Link! Alright, so beyond liking him for his personality, I want Toon Link to remain in Smash Bros. Because of just how many Zelda games he's starred in. Toon Link first appeared in 2002, and since then, he has starred in 6 Zelda titles. 7 if you count Wind Waker HD is separate from Wind Waker. Those games are Four Swords, Wind Waker, Four Swords Adventure, Minish Cap, Phantom Hourglass, and Spirit Tracks. While each game included classic Zelda items like the bow, bombs, and boomerang, there are several items in those games that haven't really been seen anywhere else. To make Toon Link more of his own character, he needs to be a balance of old and new. In other words, he doesn't need to change completely, but he does need to change quite a bit. Think of it as a Luigification, if you will. See this. For those who don't know the term, when Luigi first appeared in Super Smash Bros., he was a direct clone of Mario. I think a few of his stats were altered or something, but he really was not very different from Mario at all. And then when Melee came around, hey, his B move works differently, his up B works differently, his down B is the same, but it would be different than Brawl. He was, he was still fundamentally the same character, but he had a lot of little changes to him that made him different. That's what I want to do with Toon Link. So, let's start off with the special moves. Currently, Toon Link has the Hero's Bow for his standard move, the Boomerang for his side special, Bombs for his down special, and a Spin Attack for his recovery. It makes sense for him to have all these moves, as he had all those moves in Wind Waker, but aside from the cartoony smoke effect produced by the bombs, they lack any sort of flair to set them apart from regular Link. So, let's start with a standard B, which is by far the easiest to change. Alright, so remember how in Melee, young Link shot fire arrows at 45-degree angles, and they would arc down instead of shooting straight? Well, that's all you need to do in Toon Link. That's it. Okay, so maybe not. After all, if they made Toon Link's B-move exactly the same as Young Link's in Melee, people would call heresy or whatever. So maybe every other arrow could be an ice arrow instead? Yeah, why not? So next we come to the up special, and this is where things start to get complicated. In Brawl, Toon Link had a spin attack, which worked fine and seemingly made sense, but if you really think about it, Toon Link's spin attack variation in Wind Waker, called the Hurricane Spin, didn't really work like regular Link's at all, and it doesn't really make sense as a recovery move. Instead, Toon Link's recovery should be the Deku Leaf from Wind Waker. It should function similar to Peach's Parasol. It would provide upward propulsion immediately after it's opened, and then allow Toon Link to float back onto the stage gradually. The Deku Leaf was one of the best received new items in Wind Waker, so that's another reason to make it one of his special moves. So, if the Deku Leaf is Toon Link's up special, what's to become of the spin attack? Well, given how the Hurricane Spin worked in Wind Waker, I decided it would work better as a down special. Toon Link's new spin attack could be charged up until it essentially becomes a Hurricane Spin. Once it has reached full power, Toon Link will spin around like crazy, damaging everyone in his path, using the analog stick to control him. While this may seem overpowered, he'll become dizzy afterwards and open for attack. The long charge time, difficult controls, and short duration of the move also serves to nerf its potentially devastating potential. Okay, so if the spin attack is Toon Link's down special, does that mean no more bombs? No way! The cartoon explosions that those bombs had in Brawl were one of the few things that really set Toon Link's moves apart from Link's. So, to set those bombs apart even further, they're gonna become a side special. Instead of grabbing one, holding onto it for a while, and then throwing it with the A button, Toon Link will only hold onto the bomb for as long as the player holds the side special. In this time, Toon Link will move his arm around to adjust his aim, similar to how Yoshi aims his eggs in Yoshi's Island. Just remember, you can't just sit around waiting for the perfect angle. These are bombs, after all, and they will explode on you if you don't throw them fast enough. So, to recap, Toon Link's specials are Fire/Ice Arrows for his standard, Deku Leaf for his recovery, Hurricane Spin/Spin Attack, if you don't charge it all the way, for his down special, and Bombs for his side special, which I suppose means no more Boomerang. I don't really feel bad about leaving it out though, as Toon Link's Boomerang wasn't really any different than Link's in Smash Bros. Or Zelda. Yeah, I know, Link had the Gale Boomerang in Brawl, but honestly, they update Link to match the newest core Zelda game whenever a new Smash Bros. Comes out, so I'm willing to bet that Link's gonna go back to his regular old Boomerang anyway. Next up, we have all the A moves. And while there will still be a lot of changes here, I don't really have any problems with Toon Link retaining his standard A moves or his AAA combo. Well, that and I can't really think of anything to replace them. So let's start with a dash attack. Make it a roll. Why? Because Link rolls around a lot in the Zelda series, and it's a wonder that he and Toon Link don't have this as a dash attack already. Next, let's move on to smashes. Up smash should be the Skull Hammer from Wind Waker. Basically, Toon Link would slowly swing the hammer to bring opponents above him, slamming back down to Earth, doing heavy damage and producing a paralyzing shock wave in the process. While it may seem cheap, Toon Link is really much too small to wield such a heavy weapon, making the attack slow and easy to dodge. For his down smash, Toon Link dons the Mole Mitts from Minish Cap. The move works basically the same way that his down smash did in Brawl, crouching down to swipe on both sides, but the Mole Mitts allow Toon Link the opportunity to trap foes in the ground like Donkey Kong's side special. For his side smash, Toon Link can flap the Deku Leaf to shoot out a gust of wind that does a little bit of damage, but mostly serves to push opponents off stage. As for aerials, there really isn't much to change. The only thing I could think of was making his down air the Gust Jar from Minish Cap, which would do minimal damage but blast opponents downward at a rapid speed and provide Toon Link with an upward boost. Toon Link's grab should definitely be the whip from Spirit Tracks though. Just think about it. Instead of using the Z button solely to grab onto enemies, it could be tilted upwards and curved down to strike enemies like an actual whip. And when it hits straight on, the enemy is not only caught, but they're all tangled and need to wriggle their way out of your grab. That probably sounds really cheap though, so if anyone can think of a nerf, feel free to speak up in the comment section. For Toon Link's final smash, he grabs the 4-sword from, well, the 4-sword. This will cause him to split into 4 different Toon Links. One is controlled by you, and the rest are very competent computer players. Each Toon Link fights on your side, and they are physically incapable of damaging each other, even with bombs. Like with the Ice Climbers, if one of the computer Toon Links is knocked out, the rest keep going, but if the player's Toon Link is knocked out, the final smash ends automatically. Still, since it is a final smash, there is a predetermined time limit for the other 3 Toon Links before they merge back with your body. And since it could become a little confusing in a match where there's already more than 1 Toon Link, these Toon Links will possess a glow matching the color of the player's costume until the attack is done. Now, that does it for all of Toon Link's attacks. But before I wrap up, I'd like to discuss alterations to Toon Link's entrance, victory poses, and costume. His taunts are perfect though, don't change a thing there, but since Toon Link's already using his Wind Waker for taunting, his first victory pose should be changed to him playing flute from Spirit Tracks. His second victory pose, where he tries to catch a pig but trips, should stay, but he really doesn't need 2 pig-based victory poses, so the third one should change. For that, Toon Link should pull out a Picto box from Wind Waker, aim it at himself, and basically take a selfie. Then the little photograph will fly in and cover up the screen, so at the end all you see is a black and white photo. Wait, were they black and white? It doesn't matter. You'll see a photo of Toon Link come in making a funny face, and that'll be the screen you end on. Alright, entrance. So he should be riding a wave on the King of Red Lions. Simple as that. I don't know why that wasn't his in Brawl. For alternate costumes, Toon Link should have his conductor's outfit from Spirit Tracks, his shirt from the beginning of Wind Waker, and I have a crazy idea for this next one. These are all Wind Waker items. He's going to wear the Hero's Charm, the Power Bracelet, the Joy Pendant, and the Knight's Crest. Just an outfit full of random items. Actually, throw the iron boots in there too, yeah. Yeah. But don't actually have them affect his speed, because, I mean, that would kind of make him a lot worse of a character. Anyway, that's how I think Anyway, that's how I think Toon Link should be handled in the next Smash Bros. Games. But that's not to say my opinions are the best, so if you have any objections, feel free to state them in the comments below.